You know, this stat is disturbing. 20% of soldiers returning home from Iraq and Afghanistan suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. And some veterans say the only way they can cope is with medical marijuana. But the Department of Veteran Affairs will not pay for this. Is that fair? Let's debate it. We're joined by Iraq War veteran Paul Culkin. He's the founder of the New Mexico Medical Marijuana and Patients Group and a user of medical marijuana. It's helped him. And Dr. Andrea Barthwell is the founder and CEO of EM Global, a healthcare and drug policy consulting firm. Well, thanks so much, guys, for joining us. First off, when, doctor, did you realize that medical marijuana might not be the answer, do you think? Or how much longer are they going to have to go before you find out if it's going to help these soldiers?
I don't think we're going to find that out, actually. I'm really sorry that Paul is experiencing the syndrome that he is. And my husband's a psychiatrist at the Veterans Administration, and he reports not only do we have issues with Iraq and Afghanistan, but Vietnam-era vets have reemergence of their symptoms when they see images of the war on TV. Finally, I've just returned to Chicago from burying my nephew who died of PTSD complications following a war duty stint. And I know very well that this is a serious disorder that, if left untreated, can lead to the complication of death.
Paul, we have
FDA.
Right, Paul. You're nodding your head. You know this. You're living with this. You've tried all different types of drugs. You say medical marijuana has helped you with post-traumatic stress syndrome, right?
Oh, Brian, absolutely. I mean, I've run the gamut of all the different medications at the VA, and basically I was at my limit. I was at the limit with my wife and my daughter, and my family was falling apart. And basically, it took my daughter looking at me and saying, "Dad, I don't want you to be grumpy anymore," and that basically did it. And I turned to medical cannabis, and basically, it's helped us ever since. I mean, my family life's improved. My relationship with my wife has improved. It's just been a blessing. It really has.
Doctor, you hear this personal story. If it works, why can't you support it?
We need to uphold the standard of medical care, and we need our veterans and our Pentagon to make sure that people in duty and people who have served us get the best that medical care can offer. And physicians have to have a body of preclinical and clinical data which allows them to make a good decision about what to prescribe from someone, and it just doesn't exist for marijuana. Having someone say that they have a good experience doesn't tell us how to treat. And if we were treating other conditions in a veterans population with untested substances, there'd be a huge
But here's an
outcry.
example, right, Dr. Barthwell, but Paul's an example of it worked, right, Paul?
Well, absolutely. It's a personal example, but we also have to say, Dr. Barthwell, we need to allow research to happen with medical marijuana or medical cannabis. The data's not there because the data actually is there. I mean, University of California has recently released data that says that medical marijuana actually does work. So the problem is that medical cannabis has been Schedule I, so the DEA hasn't allowed anyone to actually go through and study medical cannabis. So it's really hard to put the data there. I can't give the data if they don't allow us to study it. So.
Doctor?
It's actually not true. There have been lots of studies that have been done on the product. But the problem with medical marijuana is that there is not a standardized product to study. Physicians need a robust body of preclinical and clinical data to inform our prescribing decisions, and there are 2 FDA-approved medications for this condition, which reduces the symptoms and the frequency so that
it just doesn't seem to work
participate.
for Paul, though. I mean, whatever the study is, this works for Paul. Don't you think he should be allowed to use it?
Absolutely.
We expect the Veterans Administration to support a standard of care that this just does not meet, and saying that it works for me doesn't tell us how many people it doesn't work for, and it doesn't tell us how many people it harms.
Right.
The safety
Dr. Barthwell, unfortunately,
is not there.
we'll have to leave it there. Paul, thanks for telling your story. Thanks for your service. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And hope you are able to continue to iron out